Hey guys, it's Kenneth, and this is my part one of my tutorial on how I play Relient K's song, I Need You. Thanks for watching. Alright, the first thing you need to know is that we are in dropped D flat, which the strings from top to bottom will be D flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat. So basically, essentially what you're doing is you're dropping all of your strings down a half step, and then you're gonna, after you've done that, you're gonna take your top string and lower it down two half steps or one whole step. They're the exact same thing. And yeah, once you're there, it should sound like this. That's a D chord. Or actually, I'll just give you all the open strings. That's how it should sound. Alright. Then we hit distortion, and we're gonna go to obviously they have feedback, which I can't replicate, and then also you're gonna go to the top three strings. The very first riff is gonna be this. And what that is you're gonna, oh, as a note, I'm just gonna be calling all of the strings by their natural names. I'm not gonna be saying A flat, E flat, G flat. I just think it'll be easier. So even though we are in drop D flat, I am going to be calling them by their natural names, the strings anyway. So you're picking the open A string. I use my second finger to put it on the first fret of the A string. You hammer it on. Then you slide that up to the 5th fret of the A string. And then you just play the open top three strings. That is the opening riff. And the second part, there are probably lots of ways to play this. I haven't really watched them, how they play it, but this is how I do it. I put my third finger on the B string on the 6th fret, I believe. Yeah. 6th fret, and then on the same downstroke, I'm hitting the bottom E string, so it clashes. That's what it sounds like if you just play it, both those, but you're gonna muffle those. So essentially, the riff goes like this. Yeah, and I will, I'll leave you guys to figure out how many times to strum that stuff and everything like that. I think you guys, I won't insult your intelligence and tell you how to play those, because I'm assuming you can do those, so. Yeah, anyway, then we go to this part. This is on the 8th fret, and this, I'm just going to tell you guys right now that this is how I play it. I always say this in my tutorials, but in my cover, I'm essentially switching between the lead guitar. I mean, they're playing a duet, essentially, in that part. So I'm switching between one guitarist part and then the other guitarist part. So bear with me. I'm just going to let you know that, well, anyway, I'll just go right into it. So, I use my second finger on the 8th fret of the top D string. And I hammer, or I bar the top two strings, because I'm going to be playing the A string of the 8th fret as well. And I put my first finger on the 7th fret of the A string. And again, you're just picking it's D, D, A, 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 A, like that. So, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. That might be a little bit more manageable. Hope that's not too faint. Alright, so, that's the first one. You actually play that again, And instead of going to that 6th fret, the 7th fret on the A string, you actually stay on the 8th fret. So the first one goes like this. And you stay there on the 8th fret of the A string. The next one, you put your 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the top D string. And you're going to leave your 1st finger on the 8th fret of the A string. So you're still plucking the same strings with your right hand. And that's basically the second one that you're going to go through. So recap from the very first one, slowly it's going to sound like this. And I'm not sure what they do. You know, sometimes they just play a chord in between. They don't do exactly cut set notes, but they play kind of a chord. So that's the second one. Then the third one, now I switched to the other guitarist part, which was I put my 1st finger on the A string 5th fret and my 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the D string. And again, you're going to be playing A, A, D on as far as your right hand. You're picking the strings. A, A, D. And then that one is your 1st finger on the D string 5th fret. So this one goes like this. Like that, and I'll show you what those numbers are. That second time that so the first time it goes like this. Sorry, I play it slowly. Right there, you're playing your 4th finger on the, I'm gonna say that's the 8th fret of the D string. Then you shift it up 2 frets to the 10th fret of the D string and play that 3 times. Or, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So from the very beginning, it's like this, slowly. However you want to do it there. Then you go down to here. Now from there, I'm going to shift down to the 1st finger on the D string, top D string, 5th fret. And I'm going to be putting my 4th finger on the 7th fret of the A string. Sorry, that's the 8th fret. My 4th finger goes on the 8th fret of the A string. And you're going to be alternating the D and A strings. Let's see you play that. You play it, I think, a couple times. So let me recap, and looks like I'm running out of time for the first part. So I will recap slowly from the very beginning of that part, a little bit faster. And I'll do it in real time this time. Oh yeah, and I did forget, I might have forgot to mention you that I'm putting my 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the A string on the very last riff that I showed you, which was this. Then I'm putting my 3rd finger on the A string 7th fret. Then after that, you play this stall 3 times. You play that 3 times, and that's you're actually putting down your 1st finger on that top D string 5th fret, and your 4th finger on the A string 8th fret. You're playing those 3 times. And I will go on to the very next part because I'm running out of time. Part 2 coming up. Thanks for watching.